I'm going to stay on this theme for a moment and call this perhaps the greatest night the Democratic Party can ever have if they lose.
You thought that Joe Biden's political operation wasn't great? How about the ridiculous clown that you just tried to sell on us? Didn't work out too well, did it? So sorry, Nancy, your reputation is screwed forever as well. But Joe, yours doesn't have to be. That's the message that has to get out there. Joe, you have the chance. You have the chance. And guess what? I'm not saying you have to be a Republican. I'm not saying you have to like Donald Trump, but you can help ease the country into something. And then maybe the party that does not give a crap about you because they kicked you out, maybe they will reboot. I don't have great hope for it, but maybe they will. Here's Kevin O'Leary on that.
How do you read this?
I'm going to stay on this theme for a moment and call this perhaps the greatest night the Democratic Party can ever have if they lose. And let me explain that. I was very troubled just over 100 days ago when they circumvented the democratic process and anointed somebody. The analogy is easy to a Super Bowl. You arrive at the Super Bowl game, and by any measure, this is the Super Bowl of global politics, the presidential race. Your quarterback, Biden, is injured. He's taken out of the game. You don't bring a quarterback in that's never, ever, ever won any game anywhere. You run a process. And they missed that opportunity. This is a chance for them to, I'm not saying they're going to lose, but I'm going to those percentages and saying they get to reboot. They get to go back to the center. They get to scratch this whole thing. And the influences of a Schumer or a Pelosi or a movie star or an Obama deciding to anoint somebody, those guys are gone in 4 years. They won't have that kind of influence. This could be great for America because I'm an investor. I have to work with who's ever in the White House in January. But I care about policy. And when I hear policies coming out of a party that are so twisted against the American way of life, like basically taxing capital gains that are unrealized, that's not America. Or price controls, that's not America. 28% tax rate takes us to the bottom quartile of competition. That's bad. We can't do that. That would hurt the country. And all I do is work with entrepreneurs that want to build businesses. There's a reason people come here under barbed wire and drown in rivers to get into America. It's the American dream. It's the only thing the president has to do is to maintain it. Those policies are against the American dream. And I have nothing against Harris. I mean, look, she did a masterful job in getting to where she is. It would be good for them to lose tonight. It would reset and reboot and get that party back to the center. It would be good for them. They may not want to hear that.
We don't.
But they may have to. You may have to deal with it. You may have to.
Yeah, you're right, Kevin O'Leary. I wrote my tweet this morning before I saw that clip. But if you and I are leading the charge on this one, let's roll. Look, I don't care what happens to the Democrat Party, to be quite frank, at this point, right? They did not have to do this. They did not have to let the inmates run the asylum. As Jordan Peterson often talks about, the left never knows when the left goes too far. For years, Jordan was meeting with Democrats in D.C. on Capitol Hill, trying to get them to moderate. And I kept saying to him, and Jordan has subsequently admitted it, so I'm not speaking out of school here, that it was never going to work. They'll never stop doing it.